everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hollyoaks has revealed the first details about Diane Hutchinson's dangerous new romance. Diane has been struggling since the breakdown of her marriage to Tony, and she has found it difficult to accept the end of their relationship. As an alcoholic at the end of last year, she pretended to have had a relapse so Tony would continue to support her. But it was Ro who had the drinking problem, and after he ended up in hospital on New Year's Eve, Tony found out the truth and was furious. Since then, Tony and Ro have moved out of the pub and are currently staying with Marie and the Lomaxes, making clear that there is no hope for a future with Diane. It seems that Diane has finally decided to rule out a reunion, as in scenes that will air next week, she spends the night with an unexpected villager. When they emerge from the bedroom, her new lover is revealed to be none other than D.A. Banks. Earlier this month, actor Drew Kane, who plays Banks, confirmed this surprising new relationship in an interview with Inside So. Diane was hoping to rekindle things with Tony, but has realized it's time to move on, he said. There is a connection between her and Banks, but it's early days, and she might be on the rebound. But since then, viewers have found out that the detective is a secret villain, as he is Rex's boss in the human trafficking scheme he has become involved in. Grace found out about Rex's criminal scheme and met up with Banks to get her brother out of the situation. But she realized that she wanted in, and told Rex that they could take over the whole organization together. Elsewhere in the village, Cleo recently went to the police with a website where Abby had uploaded intimate videos of her, Perry, and Leela. D.A. Banks told her that the website had been taken down, but it was revealed that he was the one who ordered it to be removed from the web. With Banks a secret criminal, what is Diane getting herself into, and is she in danger? Life in Hollyoaks Village is never quiet. But things are about to get even more tumultuous as Diane Hutchinson finds herself swept into a whirlwind romance that could spell danger for everyone around her. It was a typical bustling afternoon at the Hutch, where Diane stood behind the bar, her fiery red hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail. She wiped down glasses and chatted with regulars, masking the lingering emptiness she'd felt since Tony had grown distant. Their once rock-solid relationship had cracked under the weight of secrets and misunderstandings, and Diane wasn't sure if they could ever find their way back to each other. "Another pint, Diane?" asked Darren Osborne, his usual cheeky grin in place. "Coming right up," Diane replied, forcing a smile. But even as she poured the beer, her eyes drifted toward the door, where a stranger had just entered. Tall, rugged, and exuding an air of danger, he scanned the room with piercing green eyes. His leather jacket was worn but stylish, and a faint scar traced down the side of his chiseled jawline. Diane felt her breath hitch. There was something magnetic about him, something that made her want to both run and stay rooted to the spot. The stranger made his way to the bar, his intense gaze never wavering from her. "Whiskey, neat," he ordered, his voice smooth but commanding. "Coming right up," Diane managed, her fingers trembling slightly as she reached for the bottle. As she poured his drink, he leaned on the bar, his expression softening just enough to make her pulse quicken. "You run this place?" he asked. "Co-own it," she said, meeting his gaze. "Diane Hutchinson." "Ronan Blake," he introduced himself, extending a hand. Their fingers brushed, and Diane felt a spark she hadn't experienced in years. Over the following days, Ronan became a regular fixture at the Hutch. He was charming, mysterious, and seemed genuinely interested in Diane. He listened when she spoke, remembered little details about her day, and even helped fix a faulty tap behind the bar. It wasn't long before whispers began circulating around the village. Cindy Cunningham, ever the gossip queen, couldn't help but speculate. "Have you seen the way that new guy looks at Diane?" Cindy whispered to Misbah in the loft. "It's like a scene from a steamy thriller." "I just hope he doesn't have a dark past," Misbah cautioned. "Men like that usually do." And Misbah wasn't wrong. One evening, after closing up the Hutch, Ronan invited Diane for a walk along the village outskirts, The night was crisp and stars dotted the sky. "You're different, Diane," Ronan said, his voice low. "Different how?" she asked, curious. "You're real, honest. I've met a lot of people who put on masks, but you're genuine." Diane's heart swelled at the compliment. "Thank you. That means a lot." They walked in comfortable silence until Ronan suddenly stiffened. His eyes scanned the darkness, and Diane sensed a shift in his demeanor. "What's wrong?" she asked. "Nothing," he said too quickly, his jaw tightening. "Just thought I saw someone." Diane frowned but decided not to press him. However, unease settled in her stomach. The next morning, Tony confronted her at home. "Diane, what's going on with that Ronan guy?" he demanded. "Nothing that's any of your business," she snapped. "We're separated, remember?" "Yeah, but I still care about you," Tony said, his voice softening. "And I don't trust him." "You don't even know him," Diane argued. "Exactly," Tony said grimly. "And that's the problem." Diane brushed off Tony's concerns, but doubt lingered in the back of her mind. Who was Ronan Blake, really? The truth came crashing down 2 weeks later. Diane was in the kitchen at the hutch when she overheard Ronan on the phone. His tone was cold, threatening. "I told you I'd handle it," he hissed. "No one needs to know. Just keep your mouth shut." Diane's blood ran cold. She stepped back, accidentally knocking over a tray of glasses. The crash echoed through the room, and Ronan's head snapped toward her. "Diane," he said, his voice calm but laced with warning. "I didn't see you there." "Who are you talking to?" she demanded, her voice shaking. "Business," he said smoothly. "Nothing for you to worry about." But Diane wasn't convinced. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her instincts told her that Ronan was hiding something dangerous. She needed answers. The next day, Diane followed Ronan to a remote warehouse on the outskirts of Hollyoaks. She watched from the shadows as he met with a group of men who looked anything but friendly. "You got the money?" one of them demanded. "It's all here," Ronan said, tossing a duffel bag onto the ground. Diane's heart raced. Was Ronan involved in some kind of criminal operation? Before she could process what was happening, one of the men spotted her. "We've got company," he snarled. Ronan's eyes widened when he saw Diane. "Run," he shouted. But it was too late. The men closed in, and Diane's world went black. When she came to, Diane was tied to a chair in the warehouse. Ronan stood nearby, his expression a mix of anger and regret. "I told you to stay out of this," he said. "What is this, Ronan?" she demanded. "Who are you?" "I'm someone who made bad choices," he admitted. "But I never wanted to drag you into this." "Then let me go," she pleaded. Ronan hesitated, then nodded. "I'll get you out of here. But you have to trust me." Despite everything, Diane found herself believing him. The escape was chaotic, with Ronan taking down 2 of the men, while Diane made a run for it. Sirens wailed in the distance as the police arrived, and Ronan surrendered without a fight. As he was led away in handcuffs, Diane's heart ached. Despite his dangerous past, Ronan had risked everything to protect her. "Thank you," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Ronan met her gaze. "Be safe, Diane." Back in the village, life returned to a semblance of normalcy, but Diane knew she'd never forget Ronan Blake, the man who had swept into her life like a storm and left an indelible mark on her heart. And as for Ronan's future, well, in Hollyoaks, you never know who might make a comeback. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Hollyoaks Update YouTube channel for more update news.